Hey guys, what's going on? Space Cowboy here. Welcome back to the channel with another mock draft Monday for you guys here today. If you are new around here and are unfamiliar, you get a mock draft every single Monday. And if you want to get that type of content, especially about the Dallas Cowboys, hit the like button. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the notification bell and stick around. And if you want to support the channel further, hit that join button and think about becoming a channel member today. Now, with that out of the way, we need to first go over a couple of things as we enter the month of February and the needs that the Dallas Cowboys have at this point in time, because obviously when we get to the combine, free agency, and all that other stuff, things will change. But as of right now, here are the needs that I have for the Dallas Cowboys. The first is wide receiver 2. You definitely need to upgrade that position, and whether it be Gallup ends up coming back into form, then you need a wide receiver 3, whatever the case may be. You definitely need to add another wide receiver or 2 into this room to make it a bit more stable, because we saw what happened last year for the Cowboys. So that's number 1. Number 2, I think you need another cornerback in this room. Whether it be someone in the first 3 rounds, I think that you need to at least add another. Primarily because Anthony Brown is most likely not coming back because of his torn Achilles. And also long term, because Jordan Lewis is going into the final year of his contract next year. So, if you're going to pay Trevon Diggs, which you should, you're going to need to draft someone like you did with Deron Bland. You got to continue to draft. Now, really, it's best player available, and we'll talk about that as we get into the draft and all the other stuff as we go through this entire draft season. But yeah, cornerback's going to be a need. Another thing is running back. Running back's a huge need for the Cowboys. Now, granted, I understand that there is talk about doing it in the first round or in the later rounds. It really comes down to how the draft board falls. And so, with that being said, I do think that Zeke, while he maybe can be a solid running back too for you, in that he can get you short yardage and all that other stuff, you're definitely going to need someone with more juice behind, that line, especially if you let Tony Pollard go, which could happen and most likely will. If they franchise tag Tony Pollard, I have a serious problem, because we know that you're already dedicating a lot of resources and money to the running back position when you can just go cheap and churn and burn, which many other franchises do. So, running back is a need. Lastly, big needs, that is offensive line. Oh, Space, what are you talking about? We're fine on all. No, you have to add another guard in this mix because Connor McGovern's most likely gone. And more importantly, you want to make sure you always add offensive linemen, because the thing is you don't know when guys can go down, and I don't want Josh Ball being out there. Maybe Matt Waletzko takes that spot, and I'm okay. We're hearing that Jason Peters most likely will be back. Tyron Smith is going to be back. Now, there has been talk about cap casualties, so that's something to keep an eye out on. But I do think that your offensive line is of need, specifically the guard position, because I think with Tyler Smith being your left tackle of the future, I think if you add another guard in here long term, especially a left guard, you're going to be set for a long period of time. But with that being said, you have those other ancillary needs like linebacker, defensive line, tight end. That's stuff that's not pressing. But again, if you do your job in free agency and you do your job through trades, then I'm not as hard pressed, and you can go BPA at 26. So let's go ahead and get into this particular mock draft.
With the 26th pick, the Dallas Cowboys select
Bijan Robinson, running back, Texas. Now, I understand that some of you will look at this pick, and if you follow me, you know I'm not a fan of taking a running back in the first round. Oh, Space, you're being a hypocrite. Why could you do this, X, Y, and Z? I have a couple reasons here. The reason I'm doing this particular mock draft the way I did, he was available at pick 26. And I do believe if he's there at 26, the Cowboys will take him. 110%. If you know how the Joneses operate, they love their running backs, their run tracers. Yeah, we want to build this thing where Bijan is the straw that stirs the drink. He can learn from Zeke because he'll take a pay cut and be a mentor, and you know what's going to happen. He went to Texas. It's a marketing extravaganza for the Joneses. All the jersey sales, people will buy jerseys, all that other stuff. So it makes sense on that regard, and I'm doing it from a prediction if he's there. The other thing is I was wiped out. The only first-round grade guy that I had was Bijan Robinson. And if I'm going to be honest with you guys, if I have a first round grade on someone and he's the only dude that's on the board that's worthy of taking a first round pick and I'm not trading back, I'm taking the guy that has the first round grade. And Bijan Robinson's the only guy at the running back spot that has a first round grade, in my honest opinion, with what he brings to the table and where he's at. And on top of that, I didn't see a guard, I didn't see a corner, I didn't see a safety, I didn't see a tight end, I didn't see anything like that. So what are you getting, right? Like, we understand why this pick could happen. But, like, what exactly do you get with Bijan? Well, you're getting a complete running back that can do it all, and that's just not some generic stuff. You got a guy that can run the rock well. He's good as a pass catcher. He could do better, and I think he will get better, 110%. He's not as good as Jahmyr Gibbs when it comes to that, which I prefer him in the second round. But let's just go off of that. And then the third thing, his pass blocking's really good. It's the best out of any of his contemporaries in this draft class. So again, you're getting a guy that can step in and be a productive player at the running back position. And on top of that, if you use him correctly with how running backs go and how I would plan this out, you run the guy into the ground for 4 to 5 seasons, you get the best you can at that running back position, and you move on. And that's the truth of the matter. And realistically, you can double down. If it were me, and I take Bijan in the first round, I'm going in the 6th and the 7th to get another guy to complement him. Or somewhere in the later rounds. I don't have a problem with that. Because the running game is going to need to be improved, and you need guys with juice. And he brings that. Is he like a home run hitter, like a Saquon Barkley? No, but he reminds me a lot of Ezekiel Elliott when he was in college, which that player was amazing. And definitely, it made sense to take Ezekiel Elliott at the time, even though I had different thoughts and opinions on that back then. But look, it makes a lot of sense for the Cowboys. And if you're looking for a guy that can fit into the West Coast offense and you need a running back, why not? I mean, why not? And I'm not trying to sit here and do a Stockholm Syndrome on you guys and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm justifying this pick. Because I've talked about it. If you go look at my scouting report on Bijan Robinson, I said it. I don't have a problem with taking him. Would I be the one that pulls the trigger if someone else is there? No, but if there is a draft board in a scenario where he's the only guy there, I'm okay with it. But you need to be aware of this. Because it's going to happen if he's there. 110%. I would be shocked if that doesn't happen. It would have to be someone like really good in front of him that's there or they really like. So that's why I'm taking Bijan Robinson. I'm not sure how you guys feel on him. I think you're getting a productive, really good player for 4 to 5 seasons, and then you move on because that's how the running back position is. I wouldn't commit to him long term, and I talked about that. Like, he's a guy that can be a bell cow. You use him. And maybe you get a second guy, whether that be Zeke or someone else. And you have a 3-guy rotation. And you go from there. Plain and simple. So with that being said, guys, that sums up our 2.0 mock draft. Bijan Robinson out of Texas. Tell me what you guys think. Does it make sense? Would you do it? Who else would you pick? Put that down in the comment section below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Goodbye.